we're going to watch Jesse Waters awkwardly not apologize when he's supposed to apologize. This should be interesting. This should be interesting. Oh, it's not going to be very interesting if the sound's off, though.
You might have heard that Governor Newsom sued Fox News. He didn't even ask for a correction first. He just sued. I invited him on the show to talk it out man to man, but he said...
Does Jesse Waters seem like he's about to cry? He looks like he's about to cry.
No. So we'll have to do it without him. On Tuesday, June 10th, President Trump said this in connection with the LA riots. Listen.
Mr. President, when is the last time you spoke with Governor Newsom?
A day ago.
I mean, if a dude sits there like that, you probably don't want to take what he says seriously. If it happened a day ago and it took him that long to remember, he's probably lying.
Called him up to tell him, got to do a better job. He's doing a bad job.
Good job, Ross.
Newsom responded on
You guys
X,
are helping me.
There was no call, not even a voicemail. We took that to mean there was no call. Ever. Period. Wouldn't.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Shut up. We know what you were saying, dude. You were insinuating that Donald Trump called Gavin Newsom and spoke to him about the National Guard. Don't fucking act like this is my problem with MAGA. If I was MAGA and I was watching this, I'd be like, hold on. Is Jesse lying to me right now? Because that's what he told me. He told me that Trump did call him. Like, dude, come on. Just rub those two fucking brain cells together. Get the friction started and let's get a thought. Let's get a thought out there, guys.
You? President Trump sent Fox's John Roberts a screenshot showing that Trump and Newsom did have a call the previous Friday night, the first night of the riots. Based on what we knew at the time, I asked, why would Newsom lie and claim Trump never called him?
He's like, we got phone records from 2022 where Donald Trump called Gavin Newsom to talk to him about the Raiders versus the Bucs Super Bowl. Why would Gavin Newsom say he's never spoken to Donald Trump?
Newsom says he meant there was no call, not even a voicemail, a day ago. And he was arguing about only when the call took place, not whether there was a call.
Before you hit skip,
God damn it. I'm
give me
skipping.
a few seconds to explain
Hakeem, nobody wants to
the
talk to you,
GOP
bro.
tax scam.
You done fucking up.
Newsom thinks it would have been clear if we had played the full clip where President Trump said they spoke a day ago. Well, we left that out because it didn't seem relevant. We thought the dispute...
He's like, we left that out because it didn't fit our narrative. That's really what he wanted to say.
It was about whether there had been a call at all, not when. We thought the governor was clear when he said without qualification that there was no call. Now Newsom's telling us what was in his head when he wrote the tweet. He didn't deceive anybody on purpose, so I'm sorry. He wasn't lying. He was just confusing and unclear.
Dude, everybody's blaming Trump at this point. Even Fox News is like, hey, look, our job is hard. We don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. They do know what he's talking about. That's the thing, is they're lying. But even them, they're like, how are we supposed to even know? You guys have seen Donald Trump talk? How is this my fault?
Next time, Governor, why don't you just say what you mean?
So that was MAGA Fox News host Jesse Waters,
Jesse.
apparently forced to concede, to capitulate, to apologize on air. Of course, he does it in a smart-ass way, and we'll see how Governor Newsom responds to it in just a second. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel,
Don't
please
forget
be
to
sure
like
to hit the
and
like,
subscribe,
subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, this is a follow-up to a story that we've covered in previous videos, but Jesse Waters, MAGA Fox News host, potentially defamed Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom. And Newsom said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to sue you and Fox News. And, you know, Jesse Waters does lay out the case in a broad way there, which is that Trump said, and you may remember this because we discussed it so much. Trump said on that date that he spoke with Newsom a day ago. Newsom said there was no call, and he was referring to the call that Trump claimed happened a day ago. Trump in response says, well, I called you on June 7th, and Fox ran with it. And Jesse Waters tried to take a victory lap. See, sure, Trump said he called you a day ago, but he called you on June 7th. Well, nobody disputed that. As a matter of fact, Gavin Newsom...
Yeah, and the timeline... Here's the problem with this, is that the timeline is important. It's not... If somebody's saying, I called you yesterday about this thing, and you say, no, you didn't, and they go, well, I did call you. You're like, yeah, but when did that happen? What did we discuss? And why would that be important? That's like the problem with all of this is it's obviously, look, there's a lot that goes on in media where they're spinning the facts to make whatever story that they want, whatever narrative that they want to be what people believe. So it isn't unheard of that people do things like this, but it's very good that Gavin Newsom said, I'm not going to let you do this, because the narrative that they're trying to spin is that Gavin Newsom was very much aware that the National Guard was going to be in Los Angeles and doing the things that Donald Trump wanted to do, and that therefore he should be, groveling at the feet of Donald Trump because he agreed to do this. That's not what happened, and that is why you would have Gavin Newsom suing you.
Newsom had publicly commented
Oh, of course they're going to break out
between
the
June 7th and June 10th on the June 7th phone call. He had, in previous conversations and previous interviews, Newsom had repeatedly publicly acknowledged the June 7th phone call with Trump. So Newsom was not hiding that. Newsom was not pretending that the June 7th phone call never happened. He was referring to the phone call Trump claimed happened, which would have been on June 9th. There was no phone call, right? And the fact that Jesse Waters omitted, as he concedes there, he omitted the part where Trump says, I spoke to him a day ago, is really sus. Now, this was Governor Newsom on Pod Save America just a couple of days ago before Jesse Waters gave that on-air smart-ass apology, trying to have his cake and eat it too, trying to avoid the legal liability and not lose face. This is what Governor Newsom had to say about a day before that apology.
Fucking Fox always lies. Yeah. And I think that's part of it. That's hyper-normalization, right? Is that if you always lie and your audience is just, 10 toes down with whatever you say, then you can get away with lying over and over again, right? Once you have the brainwashed cult member listening to everything you say and taking it as fact, and then not just taking it as fact though either, it's also like what you're trying to get them to believe, because not always is the content of what they're talking about what they want to get from the person emotionally, right? So it's not so much that Gavin Newsom got this phone call and therefore he's on board with what Trump's saying. Instead, it's more Gavin Newsom is incompetent, and this is why Trump has to do the things he does in California. It's more about what they want to get from what they're saying to their audience and less about what they say, because what they're saying to those people generally doesn't matter. They're just trying to make them angry. They're just trying to make them hate somebody on the left or hate Gavin Newsom or hate immigrants. And as long as they accomplish that, it doesn't matter the number of lies they tell. It doesn't matter whether or not the narrative that they're spinning is truthful or not. Like, that just doesn't matter. They just want that emotional response from their viewers. Jesse Waters is a P word.
P word. P word is female genitalia.
Filed a $787 million defamation lawsuit against Fox News.
Should have been 788.
Our buddy Jesse Waters.
Is that your question? You think it's okay? I'm just asking. Why are you laughing?
For listeners who don't know,
Newsom is doing a good job in these interviews. I was very upset with Newsom or the Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon shit. I'm still not 100% with Newsom on some of the COVID shit he said so far, but I do have to give him credit. He has done a very good job of doing what the left should be doing right now, and that is being very like he's in everybody's feeds, right? He's got tweets coming out that people are retweeting. He's got podcasts that people are watching. He's going on other people's podcasts that are across the aisle. Even if some of the stuff I don't like, I do have to give him credit for doing what he's supposed to be doing right now. This is something that I have criticized the left for and said they're not very good about leveraging alternate media, leveraging the internet, leveraging things like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. So even though I might not agree with everything he's doing, I do have to at least give him credit for the fact that he is doing something that I complained that the left doesn't do.
Oh, you're accusing them of falsely claiming you lied about a call with Trump during the National Guard deployment. Your team says you'll drop the suit if they retract and apologize on air. Just wondering kind of what your desired end game is here. And do you think Kamala Harris should also sue Fox now that we've seen the way Fox edited Donald Trump's answer about the Epstein files?
Oh, that's a good point, actually. So, I mean, this is really what it should turn into, right? Like I said, a lot of times people just need to take just a couple of pages out of the MAGA playbook. Like, one of the biggest problems on the left is that oftentimes when somebody brings up something, let's take, for instance, the Obama stuff that's coming out, that is absolutely nothing. And, a lot of times the left will, instead of saying that's all bullshit and none of it means anything and you guys are just trying to put this guy on trial because you need a sacrificial lamb to your cult, instead of doing that, the left oftentimes will go, well, there are some things that I don't like about what, just like what I just did with Gavin Newsom, right? So one of the things that the left needs to do is they need to start not being mad at somebody like Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris for fucking suing Donald Trump for any and everything, right? Like, one of the things the right does is anytime that one of their people sues somebody on the left, the right's all behind it. They talk about how happy they are, they're going to get them, and it doesn't really matter what the outcome is, because if they don't win a defamation lawsuit, then it just gets swept under the rug that they didn't win. And if they do, if they get like what happened with CBS, they look at it as a big W and they point it out to everybody and say like, oh my God, look, see, CBS did do something bad. We've been saying it this whole time. Anybody that watched the interview with Kamala Harris knows that the answer that she gave during the interview and the answer that is in the transcripts are practically the same answer. It's just one answer with more words. They obviously cut it for time. It's not because it changed the answer. The answer was the same. So at this point, if I was Kamala Harris, I'd be doing the exact same thing to Fox News, and the left should get behind that, and the left should applaud it, and they should do the same thing. If she wins that lawsuit, if Gavin Newsom wins that lawsuit, they should be just fucking shouting it from the rooftops.
Know that he was very upset about CBS editing an interview with her. Maybe she should file suit.
Now, before Governor Newsom responds to the actual question about his suit against Fox News, I want to remind you, we actually discussed the thing that Tommy Vitor is mentioning here, the edited, the very carefully, very selectively edited interview between Trump and Fox News. We covered that when it happened back in June or July of 2024.
And to be fair, I'm not even saying this just because, I tend to be on the left. I would think that Kamala's answer on our involvement with Israel, being that it was a longer form answer that said the same thing as a shorter form answer, should be much less concerning. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but it should be much less concerning than, say, Donald Trump's answer on something as big as the files, as the client list. Like, that should be, if you're a MAGA supporter, you should be looking at that and going, you should be able to put two and two together. I know they're bad at math. To them, 2 and 2 equals 5. They're Terrence Howard fans. But it's fucking mind-boggling to me that you would be mad at Kamala Harris for an answer being shortened, but that the answer is still the same on a topic where she was literally just trying to avoid the question. And let's be honest about it. That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to avoid taking a side on the Israel-Palestine conflict, which in my opinion was a mistake. But she was trying to not take a side, so she used a lot of words to say very little. On Trump's side of it, there is a very clear answer to whether or not the Epstein files should be released, and that is yes, they should be. Anything that needs to be edited out of that should be concerning to MAGA, who claim that they really, really want this client list released.
That when he was asked about Epstein, Fox initially aired this very assertive answer from Trump. Yeah, I would release the Epstein files. And then they cut away immediately to something else. And then in the actual footage, which was later released, and then I believe concealed, because I think the only record on Fox's website, I believe, was the initial airing with the hard edit. But the full footage shows that Trump waffled, right? So by Trump's own logic, by MAGA logic, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah, in the edited footage, he just goes, yeah. But in the unedited footage, which should fucking concern the shit out of everybody, that Fox News was like, we should edit out the part that he waffled. That's insane. It's fucking crazy that this isn't a bigger deal. That Donald Trump, his answer in the edited version is, yeah, I would. And the actual answer was, yeah, I would. Well, I mean, some of it probably. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in those files that could hurt people that maybe aren't true, that was made up. Like, he fucking went on for like a minute and a half after that qualifying his answer. And as I've said multiple times before, if you give an answer and then feel you need to follow it up with qualifiers for the next like 3 to 5 minutes, your original answer is a little sus.
Biden should have sued Fox News for deceptively editing an interview with Donald Trump for election interference to make Trump look stronger on a major issue, the Epstein files issue, in order to make him more electable.
Yeah.
And the next Democratic FCC should perhaps go after Fox News the
100%.
way that Trump's FCC has gone after the Kamala Harris.
That, once again, this is something I'm saying the left needs to do. The left needs to stop playing this bullshit game of being the adult in the room. They need to say to everybody that's in their base, when we get in power, we are not only going to investigate this, but we are going to bring suit against Fox News. Because one thing that Donald Trump has done is he has provided the things that his base want. They want fear, they want anger, they want hatred. I'm not saying that those are good things. But when you see one side that is willing to do what they say they're going to do, and that is we're going to do hateful shit, we're going to cause fear in people, we're going to make people angry, we're going to sue people and make them give us money even when they haven't done anything wrong, because now we have the power and we're going to use that power to wield it in a way that makes them afraid that we'll take away their licensing or we won't allow them to merge, all of those things. Like, the other side of that is saying, the left's going to force hope and joy and fucking free healthcare and, UBI on you. Like, the left needs to take that page out of Donald Trump's book and say, we're going to sue the fuck out of Fox News for editing Donald Trump's answer. We are going to then use that money and we are going to fucking use it in our government to give people fucking free healthcare. Obviously, it's not enough money, but you get what I'm saying.
Harris thing. I'm glad people are talking about it now. This is really good. They should have been talking about it months ago and a year ago as well, but I digress. So here's Governor Newsom responding
100%
about
Kelly.
his Fox News interview. And again, remember, this happened about a day before Jesse Waters, the Fox News host in question, aired that kind of half-assed, apology.
Like he did.
That's a hell of a question. I'm not trying to be political about the latter part of that question, but I will review those tapes and I will make a more educated assessment of the validity of those edits.
This isn't just a wallet; it's a rare find. There's something different about owning something almost nobody else has. That's why when Ridge dropped
Look.
That's acceptable to say that, because it's weird that he doesn't know if he doesn't know. But I do think people more often should say, I don't know the answer to that question. Please give me a chance to look it up, and then we'll have an answer for you on that.
It's the exact same number as the Dominion case.
Yeah.
But Fox didn't learn their lesson. They knowingly omitted facts. They edited out those facts. They lied. They knowingly lied. And they
Dude, Rupert Murdoch is currently getting sued by Democrats and Republicans.
weaponized that lie, and it was heard around the world.
Find.
I had good friends of mine. No bullshit. This is why I did it. Like people saying, well, why'd you lie about the call? I said, what are you talking about? They said, I've seen all of my social media. I said, what are you talking about? Well, Jesse Waters. I was like, what? And John, I mean, what the hell's going on? And I've been, look, I'm 24/7 on Fox. I'm their new Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton. I don't know what the hell I am. And so I've got a pain threshold that's up there with the best, but I'm not into just overt lies. It said on the Chiron, Gavin is lying. It wasn't, you couldn't get more clear.
Yeah.
And so these lawyers came to me, the same folks that did Sandy Hook. They're not screwing around. No. They said, this is cut and dry. I said, I don't want, come on, defamation. It's not. And they're like, no, this is cut. And I said, look, I want an apology. And they're like, I'm not going to do, I mean, I'm like, I want an apology. Just the exact same amount of time they put on extending the lie, period. I'm sick and tired of this. You know, illusion rules, facts don't matter, fine. You're a propaganda network, I get it. You're not.
I don't like that answer. I don't like that. You're a propaganda network, I get it. Like, no, I don't like that at all. No, I think you need to take a little bit of a harder stance on that. Like that, we as a people should be a lot more upset about what Fox News is doing to this country. And, you know, I've said it before about YouTube. It's like there's a ton of videos on YouTube that say things like, Trump panics and leaves the country. And, you know, you watch the video and it's Donald Trump going to, you know, a NATO meeting or something, or Donald Trump runs and hides from, you know, and it's like there is like a level or a portion of news as it is today being partially entertaining, right? That can be acceptable. And when you're watching my channel, I make jokes. I have a good time. I talk a lot of shit. I make fun of MAGA. That's the entertainment portion of what I'm doing, right? And I'm not saying that I am immune to making a clickbaity title. But we should be a lot more concerned about the fact that even the people on our side of the aisle are making entertainment rather than making news. And I do think that that's a huge problem in our country and probably the world as well. And we've talked about it before, that a lot of it comes down to media literacy. So a lot of times if I see something that has a title like that, I won't watch it. The reason I won't watch it is because I've been hurt before, guys. I've been hurt before. It's like Donald Trump. I mean, the day Donald Trump got shot at in Pennsylvania, it was my first day of vacation. And I got a news alert that said Donald Trump had been shot. And I was like, no, he hadn't. That's bullshit. That's where my media literacy is. My media literacy is on the point of like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. I'm not clicking that shit. And then I saw all the stuff coming through. All the, like, you know, you can tell when something has happened because just like it's just flooded. All your social media is flooded. Your homepage is flooded with news articles and videos. And I was like, oh shit, actually this might have happened. And I clicked on Adam Mockler's live stream and I was like, oh shit, this did happen. Okay, all right. And then I even said during that time, and you guys that maybe if you remember, if you were there, you guys might remember that during that time, many people were like, here's this thing off of X. Here's the shooter. Here's what happened. And I said, well, I don't want to be just linking X videos. I know that gets you the most clicks, and I know that gets you the most views, and it brings the most people in. But I want to make sure that if I'm saying something that I at least believe that I'm correct, right? Like I don't want to say something because it's hyperbolic or because it's entertaining unless it's a joke, unless I'm doing something for fun. And, you know, so a lot of that, when that happened, I said, you know, like, let's just wait. And when we were watching the video earlier with CoffeeZilla, I liked a lot of what he said about the supposed or alleged letter that was sent to Epstein to put in the book with the drawing from Trump. And that is, you know, it is important to be right. it is important to give real information to be correct and not just be entertaining and being hyperbolic for entertainment value. So a lot of times when I'm telling you guys things, it's because I believe I am correct. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to be wrong. Definitely. I mean, I just got corrected on a word I was using over and over again that was wrong. I'm happy to be corrected because it's better to be corrected than to go on living in ignorance. But I do think it's really important that we get away from this idea that, well, yeah, you know, some stuff just exists for entertainment. It's news. It shouldn't exist for entertainment. It can have certain elements of entertainment to it, but it definitely should not exist strictly as entertainment.
A news organization, you act like you're a news organization.
Allegedly.
In some cases, you need to be held to account. You got your guy that you're celebrating every single day, to your point, that's suing everybody. Everyone's bending on their damn knee. And they're settling here, settling there. They're doing it for purely, crony capitalistic reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, we know why.
There you go.
So, you know what? I'm
That's
sick
better.
of it. And if they're going to play that game, goes to your previous question. We got to step up, and they got to be held to account, period, full stop. So I'm looking forward to any deposition. I'm looking forward, Fox, to discovery. I'm looking forward to all your emails, all the text messages, Jesse. I'm looking forward to all of it, to all the senior producers, to the Murdoch family. I'm looking for it. I got all the time in the world, and I'll be spending it in Delaware, where we're doing this case. Or you...
Dude, he might be a fucking force, to be honest with you. On the campaign trail, Newsom looks like he could be a fucking force. Pamela says, I don't remember what I was doing that day. Fuck Donald J. Trump was shot at, but I remember January 6, 2021. I'll tell you the same thing, just to show that, like, any of these things are the same for me. When that shit happened on January 6th, it was the same thing. I was like, that's not happening. They're not really, like, busting into the Capitol, right? Like, that's not real. Like, that's fake news. Like, there's fucking... It's clickbait. Yeah, I started watching that shit, and I was like, oh, fuck. This is really happening. Like, things have changed in this world. As I said before, this is the dumbest timeline. And now, if I see some dumbass thing going on, generally I'm like, probably true. Probably true.
Apologize. Do the right thing. That's hard for you, I know. But do the right thing.
Hey, guys, listening to the
really?
Chat bot.
So, again, this is the guy who goes on Fox. There's no problem engaging
Nightbot's
these
a
guys.
hard-working dude.
Respect opposition and critique, but don't lie.
I'm sure Jesse.
So, again, that's what he said
good.
a day
That was
before
pretty solid on
this
Newsom's
apology.
part.
And listen, there's a reason Jesse Waters gave the apology. He could have just mocked Governor Newsom. He didn't have to apologize at all. He could have just, if he was so confident about his position, he could have addressed it and flexed on him. He apologized.
Because it's going to be part of the suit. They're going to say, we came out and we for sure apologized. We're sorry we said it. That could actually work in reverse, though.
Because he knows that there is serious legal liability for him in Fox News.
He's trying to explain
and he doesn't
that they
really
didn't
want to
know.
screw with it. But again, Jesse Waters is also really smug, and he has to save face in front of his MAGA guests, so he has to try to have his cake and eat it too. I'm going to apologize, I'm going to say the words, but I'm going to deliver it in a way which signals to my base that I'm giving Newsom the finger at the same time. It's a tightrope.
Yep.
Now, how does Governor Newsom respond? Well, let's take a look at this LA Times article. Fox News' Jesse Waters admits mistake in program, claiming Newsom lied about Trump call. Fox News host Jesse Waters acknowledged Thursday that his program made a mistake in reporting on Governor Gavin Newsom's phone call with Donald Trump during last month's immigration raids in Los Angeles.
I wonder if they think, too, that would have been enough for Newsom. Because, I mean, my guess is that Waters did that as a way of saying, we didn't actually say what you think we said. Here's our explanation of that. But I don't think that he's talking so much to Gavin Newsom or his audience as he's speaking to the potential court that they would be taken to suit for, right? Like, that's what I think most likely why he did it. But Yeah, I don't know. Hold on.
Newsom filed a $787 million defamation lawsuit against Waters and Fox News on June 27th after the host reported on comments Trump made about a phone call with the governor as tensions heated up over the raids and Trump's decision to deploy the National Guard. Newsom's lawsuit said Waters lied on his prime-time program about the timeline of his conversations with Trump. After the lawsuit was filed in a Delaware court, Newsom's lawyers said...
Yeah, I mean, they might have thought maybe Newsom would have backed down if he would have took that as being an apology. But if they did, that'd be stupid.
That they were prepared to drop the suit if the governor got a retraction and a formal on-air apology. The suit claims Fox News willfully distorted the facts about the Trump call to harm the governor politically. Asked for a reaction to Waters' remarks about the matter, Newsom showed no signs of backing down. Quote, "Discovery will be fun," he said in a statement. Quote, "See you in court, buddy." Waters' on-air persona is snarky and tongue-in-cheek, and he did not deviate from it when he addressed the Newsom.
Uh-oh, there's the entertainment spin. We're just entertainment. He's just a snarky host, guys.
Matter. He acknowledged he misunderstood Newsom's social media post on Trump's remarks and used the words, "I'm sorry," but it was far from a fulsome apology. Well, Fox News invited Newsom on the show to talk it out man-to-man, but he said no. So, and it goes on to the history of that. So I don't know if this is going to ease Fox's legal liability. They might be able to point to a judge and say, hey, listen, the governor asked for an apology. We technically gave one. He didn't say it had to be a sincere or, humble apology. Sure, Jesse was a smart ass, but yes, we admitted we fucked up. Maybe that'll work. But apparently Newsom's not backing down. Newsom didn't take the apology at face value. Newsom says he's going to, go full steam ahead with the $787 million lawsuit. And of course, again, as a reminder, that's the same figure
and he should.
That Fox settled in their defamation lawsuit from Dominion Voting Systems. Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News for defamation, alleging that Fox defamed them by signal boosting Trump's defamatory election lies about the 2020 election. And Fox settled after being humiliated in the discovery process, which is another reason why Governor Newsom says, I'm looking forward to discovery. And Fox...
And the fact that they settled is actually really big because, like I said, defamation lawsuits are actually really hard to prove. There's a set of things that you have to prove as far as like how it's like negatively impacting you, specifically for like public figures like Newsom. It'll be really difficult for him to win a lawsuit for defamation because he's a public figure. So there's added on bars for that. But the very fact that Fox News was willing to settle for almost $1 billion in that voting machine defamation suit shows that they 100% knew that they were going to lose. Because if they didn't, they would have went to court. Because generally when you settle, the reason you're settling is because it costs more money to go to court and fight the case than it does to just pay the person off. And even then, you're generally weighing whether or not you can beat it or not. So... it wasn't going to cost them almost $1 billion to go to court against the voting machines, the corporation. I always get it messed up. It's Dominion, right? Not Smartmatic. I can't remember which one it is. Dominion. So that shows you that they 100% knew that they were going to lose that defamation lawsuit, and they would have lost well over $1 billion if they had not settled.
Gave the biggest defamation settlement in American history, as far as most people are aware. So that's
Newsom's
why
the governor of California.
Picked that
knows
particular
about petty
target.
lawsuits.
Again, I don't know what's going to happen. It's possible that Fox prevails in court. It's possible that they settle before court. It's possible that this apology by Jesse Waters is sufficient to get Newsom to withdraw the lawsuit, or to make it more difficult for a judge to rule in Newsom's favor. But again, it was an admission that they screwed up. And the only reason somebody like Jesse Waters or a network like Fox News would do that in the first place is because they know they did fuck up and they are taking the lawsuit at least somewhat seriously. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, he's not wrong. They know they're in trouble. That's what it comes down to. Like they wouldn't be issuing an apology. Like these people are they're bullies, right? So the last thing that they can do is come out and admit any form of weakness, including an apology, no matter how snarky it was. Like, it doesn't matter how snarky Jesse Waters' apology was. Just the very fact that he had to come on there and apologize shows that they know that they're in hot water. They knew they were in trouble. There's no fucking way that they would apologize for anything in any manner if they didn't think that. So that does actually make a pretty big difference. Thanks for watching. if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and check out that video on the screen now.